Hey guys, how are you? Welcome into a Wednesday morning edition of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Peralt here on BettingPros.com. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt if you would like. We're here every single morning on BettingPros.com, always being brought to you by BetMGM, and we have a very special sponsor for this podcast I'll tell you about here in just 1 second. So last night was one of the more frustrating nights for me, and I won. Let me explain for a second. So I came on here last night and I said, hey, I don't really like the slate. I wasn't really feeling much last night. I got up in the morning, started looking at games, did my radio show, talked to some people, did my normal routine, and I came up with 10 bets. I went 7-3 last night, okay? What's frustrating, well, actually 8-3 because the Warriors won and we cashed our future wager on the Warriors to win more than 36 games. So that came in. That was nice. That's a little half-unit win for us. That's great. But I had a litany of bets that I had placed, and I posted them all in the Discord channel, and I said, look, I just don't feel comfortable firing on these officially. These are bets I've made, and I wasn't believing in myself. And, I hate it because I try hard to – the record matters to me, okay? Anybody who tells you the record doesn't matter, the record matters. So when I have bets that I'm not 100% on and I'm sort of wishy-washy on, I'm like, I don't know. I'm not positive. We got both player props right yesterday. That was official. That was nice. We get the Indians on the money line right. That was nice. That was official. Bucks win by 12. They don't cover the 14.5 points, and you guys got the Discord bet wrong. That hockey game was horrific. 2-1. Last goal scored with 1.8 seconds left to go for the Capitals. Nobody played. They sat everybody. But I thought the Capitals might play, but they won anyway. They didn't play anybody. Oshie, Ovechkin, nobody played. But a 2-1 win for Washington. I bet the under on the Grand Salami at Circa. They had that where you can – it's 11.5 total goals for both games, way under that. So that cashed. And, it was just one of those days where I had a bunch of plays where I wasn't entirely comfortable with it. I'll run through a couple of them here before, and I'll give you as to what I did. 7-3. I'm watching the Laker game right now. Lakers probably aren't going to cover. We had the first half for the Knicks at plus 1.5. So that was nice to come through and get that. But maybe it's 91-89 right now. Knicks are up by 2. I bet the Lakers -3, so that would have been nice to come through on that. But I'm probably not going to get that. But I had Indians money line, Knicks first half plus 1.5, Celtics over. We talked about that in the pod last night. Clippers under. Talked about that in the pod last night. Bam Adebayo over. Player prop I gave out. Jason Tatum over 28.5. Gave that out. And then the under on the salami at 11.5, which came in. So I get the Bucks wrong, the Suns wrong, and the Lakers probably wrong as well once this game goes to overtime. But a 7-3 day. I should have given you the Knicks first half, the Clippers under rather, and the Celtics over. Those are 3 bets that I was talking about them yesterday on the podcast, and I choked. Bottom line, I was a baby. I choked on it. And it serves me right that I get 3 bets wrong. I get 7 bets right in the one that I've got, the Bucks come through and lose. So that was a frustrating night for me in terms of my record because I do care about the record. But I should just be more confident. But if you're on the Discord channel, the one kind of reason why I bring this up is because on the Discord channel, I do tend to tell you everything I am betting on the day. And when I have a card like that I am pretty aggressive with, I'll tell you, and you can fade or follow. And that was a pretty good night. It was a fun night and really an 8-3 night last night. I'll take those every single time to go 8-3. So that was fun. And part of it is that I am, when I bet overnight, I can get up, I can spend the day, I can research, I can see breaking news. And as we get to this part of the season where we're near to the NBA and NHL playoffs, things start to crystallize a little bit as to what's going to happen. But right now at the end of the year, these late game situations, we got to see who was playing and who was not and whatnot. So 2-0 on the player props, both on that Celtics game, plus the over there. Nice. Clippers game comes in on the under. That was nice. But unfortunately, I didn't give those out officially, even though we did talk about them on the podcast. So maybe you took them. Maybe you cashed as well. Hopefully you did. And hopefully you had a decent night because that would be cool. So here tonight, I've got 2 hockey plays for you. I've got 1 baseball play for you. And then I'm going to have 2 player props in the NBA, and I may be back to add an NBA play as well on the Discord channel. As always, bettingpros.com/chat, or you can hit the link, which is below me on the YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube every single morning, we get the video and the audio for this, audio wherever you get your podcasts, and the video on YouTube or on the Betting Pros Instagram, by the way. They're doing some extra stuff where you can catch the video on the Betting Pros Instagram, which is bettingpros.com. Sorry, Betting Pros NFL. Same with Twitter at Betting Pros NFL for that as well. Okay, so let's tell you about our friends we've told you about these guys before, but if you are a DFS player or a sports gambler, you should really be checking out Betcha. This is a really cool, unique app. Predicting the game will never be the same with Betcha, and we love making player props. We love doing these prop bet picks. You can win cash, earn payout boosts for playing the same games as your friends, and climb up a leaderboard to earn respect. Will Steph Curry drop 40? Will you have more assists for Harden or Westbrook? If you know the answer, and you probably do, follow your friends, follow experts like me to see what we're making, what we're picking on Betcha, and you can decide whether you're going to fade or follow. You always wanted to own your favorite team. They got a new little feature for Betcha. It's called the NBA Ownership Challenge, where you download the Betcha application, you hop in here, you select your favorite team, make NBA picks, and get your rating high enough to join the ownership group. There's no risk to try it out. Your first $5 in credits are on the house. Download Betcha right now, BETCHA. Use the promo code DailyJuice for a deposit match of up to $50 and a $5 in Betcha credit for your new signing up using that promo code DailyJuice for Betcha. Check it out. You're going to have fun with this application. I know people who have done this and have really enjoyed checking out Betcha. Do it today with that promo code DailyJuice. That's how you say thank you to us, by the way. If you like it, if you like what we're doing, if you've made money on the Daily Juice, on the Discord channel, that's how we stay in business, okay? Support the sponsors who support us. That's how we stay in business. Download Betcha. Okay, let's talk about the Vegas Golden Knights. And I have gone back and forth on this. Vegas is going to win this game. I am really confident that Vegas wins this game. But I need to see who's in net. I need to see what happens. Puck line is a very real possibility, all right? At plus 126, the puck line is very, very possible. However, 6.5 is the number I would be looking for, okay? Look for 6.5. And the possibility for Vegas to potentially play, I don't know, more conservatively than normal. San Jose is playing for nothing. Vegas is playing for a chance to win the game and then hope, cross your fingers and hope, the LA Kings wind up beating the Colorado Avalanche and they wind up winning the division. That's the only way that we wind up getting ourselves to cash that plus 160 for the Golden Knights to win the division. You know, Colorado's got the thing. They have the inside track. They win 2 games, they win the division. So that's why I'm a little bit hesitant to come in here. And I just wonder where the Vegas Golden Knights mindset are. So I need to see a little bit more out of Vegas and who's in net. Make sure it's Marc-Andre Fleury and make sure everybody who can play is available. They will have 17 skaters tonight, which is important. But I'm going to bet the under 6.5 in this game for a half a unit. And here's a couple of reasons why. One, the under is 4-0 in, The under is 4-1 in the last 5 meetings in San Jose between these two teams. The home team is 4-0 in the last 4 meetings, but the Golden Knights are 5-0 in their last 5 meetings in San Jose. The over has been kind of consistent, 9-1 in the Sharks' last 10 home games, but the under for the Vegas Golden Knights, it's all kind of all over the place. The under is 6-0-1 in the Golden Knights' last 7 games when they hold their opponent to 5 goals or more, or less, I should say, 5 goals or less in the previous game, which is what happened against the Colorado Avalanche in their last game. And I don't know, the under is 4-1 when the Golden Knights are playing on 1 day's rest. 6.5 is the number that I want, okay? Shop around. FanDuel has it at 6.5 at minus 128. This game starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for Vegas on the road at San Jose. So it's a late game, one of the last games of the day. But I do think that we're going to see an opportunity for a 3-1, 4-1 win is what I'm banking on here. I am probably coming back on the puck line for Vegas, okay, at plus 128. I'm probably going to add that, but officially, just for the podcast here, 6.5 at FanDuel. We're going under at minus 128 for a half a unit for the Vegas Golden Knights against the San Jose Sharks. I think it's going to be Marc-Andre Fleury. We're going 3-1, 4-1 win, somewhere in that neighborhood for the Vegas Golden Knights up against the San Jose Sharks here tonight for Vegas to get the victory and then sit back and hope that the LA Kings do the Knights a huge favor and beat them to give the Golden Knights the division. It would be beautiful. I would love to cash that plus 160 after we cashed our win total for the Golden State Warriors. That was minus 110, so we didn't get any plus money on that, but I'll still take it. It's a nice half-unit win, or a little bit, almost half-unit win for the Golden State Warriors to come in on that. So that was a nice NBA future bet. We only made one NBA future bet. That was it, and that cashed. That was great. So under 6.5 at minus 128 for Vegas and San Jose. Second game, also at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. The Minnesota Wild taking on the St. Louis Blues. These two teams will play a back-to-back to end the year. The Wild are 4-0 in the last 4 games as a road favorite. The goals could be flying here for this game. The over is 4-1 in the last 5 meetings for this. The Wild have not had a good mark, amazingly enough, against the St. Louis Blues. And that's why I think this is a playoff preview, okay? And these two teams, as of right now, are going to play in the postseason. In a lot of ways, the playoffs begin tonight in St. Louis for Minnesota. The record, St. Louis is up 4-2 here. Last game out, the Wild won in overtime, 4-3. The game before that, the Blues won in overtime, 5-4. Game before that, 4-3 win. Game before that, 3-2 win. Game before that, 9-1 win. The Wild won the first game of the season with a 2-0 victory. The Wild have been playing really, really well. They've won 4 out of their last 5 games. Beat Anaheim 4-3 last 2 games. They beat the Golden Knights, and they beat the St. Louis Blues the last time these two teams played. I'm going to get back on here with the Wild, who are 14-9-3 on the road up against St. Louis, who is 10-11-5 on the road, at home rather. And this is going to be a wild and really fun game. All right. And I'm looking forward to this to see how this whole thing plays out. The Wild could technically still catch the Avalanche. And, the Blues are well behind the top 3 teams. This is go time here for the Wild. I got minus 130 on the Wild for the money line. I'm taking Minnesota to come up with a victory here. Minnesota to beat the St. Louis Blues on the road just to win at minus 130 for the Minnesota Wild. And then one baseball bet to get into here tonight, and it's the Chicago White Sox taking on a left-handed starting pitcher, which has been sort of like an automatic for the last couple. There are some bets that are just kind of like auto fire. And this is an auto fire whenever a left-handed starting pitcher is going up against the White Sox. And I may come back with a first 5 bet as well, but I can't make the first 5 bet here overnight. All I can do is just bet a money line bet. But you're looking at a team in Chicago who are at home taking on J.A. Happ. Dallas Keuchel to the mound on the other side. So J.A. Happ in his career up against the Chicago White Sox, the numbers are pretty ridiculous when you start to look at just left-handed pitching in general. This season, just looking at the numbers, left-handed pitching, 217 at-bats, 40 runs have been scored against lefties. They've hit 7 home runs. They have a 295 batting average, the White Sox do, a 370 on-base percentage, a 465 slugging, and an OPS of 835. Those are all significantly higher than what they hit against left-handed pitching, okay? Significantly higher. They hit 20 home runs in 848 at-bats against righties, and they've hit 7 home runs in 217 at-bats against lefties. They just kill left-handed pitching. It's one of those bets where you don't overthink it. It's a lefty. You just bet the Chicago White Sox simply because that's who the White Sox love to face. J.A. Happ's record against the White Sox is really not good. And I'm trying to pull it up, trying to find. I had it for a second ago. There it is. Against the White Sox, his ERA is 3.64, which is one of the higher. Like against the Cubs, it's 1.90. Against the Angels, it's 2. 3.64. It's his highest ERA outside, second highest. The Royals at 3.92. Second highest ERA, 3.64. He's given up 8 home runs in 8 games to these White Sox, okay? 11 doubles, a triple, 14 walks to 51 strikeouts. He has 190 at-bats, and he's had 53 hits in those 190 at-bats to go along with 14 walks, okay? So, tough to face the White Sox. White Sox minus 137 on the money line to beat the Twins. That game is an 8:10 Eastern time start time between the White Sox and the Twins. White Sox money line at minus 137 for a half a unit. Okay? Those are the 3 plays for us here. 2 in hockey, 1 in baseball. I could have more. I may add a first 5 here for the White Sox against J.A. Happ. I may add to the Golden Knights on the puck line. I may add for a NBA play all on the Discord channel as we get rolling here. The Lakers are up by 3 right now in overtime, and I may go 8-2 if the Lakers can cover this 3-point line. Anthony Davis just came up limp. Oh, boy. Uh-oh. They don't want to see that in L.A. with LeBron coming back tomorrow against Cleveland. You don't want to see Anthony Davis getting hurt here against the Knicks. But anyways, if that hits, it's either an 8-2 or a 7-2, 7-3 night for me. We didn't give this out officially, but I'm on the Lakers minus 3 in this game. So let's see what happens with this one. But again, to recap, under 6.5 at minus 128 for a half a unit at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Vegas taking on San Jose. The Wild on the money line up against St. Louis, minus 130, half a unit at 9 p.m. Eastern time starts. And the White Sox on the money line, minus 137 against the Twins, an 8:10 Eastern time start for that game. All right. Player props for the NBA in the Discord channel. Other bets that I very well might be adding as well. Maybe I'll be more aggressive today than I have been with adding bets as we go throughout the day for the Discord channel. BettingPros.com/chat, or the link is here on the YouTube channel. My name is Matt Peralta. Follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt every morning. It's the Daily Juice podcast right here on BettingPros.com, brought to you by BetMGM.